Hi all, welcome everybody to another session on leadchess.org on my channel. Today we play the amazing Lance5500 in a Simul. I could manage to participate in, and there we go. He plays versus 15 players from his fan club, and we are able to challenge him as white. The time control is 5 plus 60. That means that we have enough time to calculate on the one hand, and also means that Lance has time to switch the boards in a calmly way also, what equalizes the chances a bit. Let's see how we do there. I'm playing d4 e3 and try to set up a fianchetto on the queen side for supporting the e5 square, and after trading something I think we can go for I think we can go for a relatively quick proceeded endgame, but let's see what Lance is going to play. If I remember right, we had a similar structure in my previous video where I played him, but I'm not sure if we can, or if we get the same line on the board this time. I try to avoid this. Okay, first I have to make sure to castle quick so our king is safe, and then after he goes for d6, knight bd7 or rook e8, and then pushing e5, we can handle a counter protection with b3 and bishop to b2. Okay, now he plays d5. Maybe he did that last time as well. I really am not in a safely memorization of this, but let's continue with the actual game and don't think so much on something else. So here d5 seems always a good option, because he has a standing pawn, let's say, in the center versus some play on c4. He always can protect his pawn with e6 and c6, and also can push c5 like here to open up something. Should be fine. Here we should be aware of taking too early, because knight here can be a problem. After we defend with c3, he has double attack with knight and bishop on here, and the rook would fall. A rook wouldn't fall, but it would be not very tempted to to play this on. Yeah. So we have bishop b2, like the plan has been mentioned, and now the idea comes with a knight on e4. So at first I think we play the knight from b to d2, and now we have to calculate how we want to go on. We could make a little bit more let's say firework, like to play c4 now. Then some things would get traded, I'm really up for this kind of line, but also am up for taking here. So knight takes, pawn takes, knight here. If he takes, I'm not sure, because this e pawn looks a bit vulnerable, because the bishop would have still an eye after the trade on it, and the queen on c7 would win the pawn immediately before we could grab the e4 pawn with any piece. So I think a better way is here to open up the center totally. And if you play c4, if he takes, should be fine. I think we play c4 here. Yeah, I think this is a very similar line which we had last game. Maybe even the same. You can check this video out in my video history. It's not that long ago. So you have all opportunities to find it quick and enjoy it. Knight to c6. Okay. Yeah. Also, black could go for the option to not take on any pawn, on any center pawn here, to make things more clear on the board. Yeah, he placed this bishop move, which maybe he did last time. Let's see what we have here. I mean, at first, taking here this pawn to forcing the queen to move here could be an option, and then playing the bishop here. Is this an option? Maybe. But also, this is a tempo setup. If we let him take here, what he maybe has to do in any kind of work to attack the d4 pawn after trading, we also would be able to develop our pieces by force. So I don't know if c takes d5 is the most tempo or most effective move here. C takes d5, queen takes, and then taking the knight. C takes, queen takes, taking the knight, bishop takes. Wanna try this? Let's do it. Let's do that. So queen takes. We take the knight. We don't have to take the knight immediately, but I want to have my queen here on this. I'm protecting d4. The setup from queen and bishop to attack f3 is not that difficult to defend here, because we have the bishop protecting the knight. But what I really wonder is if we should I have the feeling we can do something nasty here. maybe taking, maybe bishop here though. Bishop here. Because as long as we don't take the knight, there is no danger by the bishop to defend this f3 knight. So if we just push away the queen, we would have some tempo maybe. Not sure. We also can move our bishop on a3 to attack something here on the diagonal which isn't protected soon, maybe. It's a question now. Where we take here? I do like my bishop on e2, I have to say. Feels more safe. But though I don't want to have the queen here on this d5 spot because it's so central and so flexible. Let's play this one. I always try to keep our thinking time close to Lance one. I mean, this bishop can be a strong outpost there anyhow, because it can't be pushed away so easily. b5 playing after a6 can be easily prevented by simply playing a4. And also if the queen moves back, then maybe taking the knight makes a little bit more sense. I don't know. Knight takes, bishop takes, then rook on the c file maybe, attacking the pawn. Not sure. Let's wait where the queen goes. Queen has this square, this square, and this square. These three are the options. Taken here. Okay, Lance is on the board. Yeah, and he goes queen d6. The bishop isn't placed where he should be effective, and the knight also hasn't got any. The knight on e4 hasn't got any active squares where he can grab or attack. So I think maybe since the queen is on the line here, we are trying to push our queen to e2, then maybe taking, and then playing the rook here get a little bit tempo under some circumstances. It loses a pawn at first, but this b pawn looks also a bit vulnerable with tempo movement. Also we have tempo then, but on the other hand I don't want to give the pawn that early without any clear solution for getting advantage. Also an idea here is to play now the bishop to a3, because if c takes, we take the queen. So this pawn isn't attacked there. And also we could grab maybe this pawn with a tempo move, because queen has to retreat somewhere else. And it makes maybe some troubles. But before we do this, we have to make sure to take the knight, because after the bishop goes to a3, the knight has an annoying square here on c3. He can enter this way. So maybe at first we take, and then playing a3. Bishop a3. And after bishop a3 and the queen moves somewhere else, we play the rook on c1. Maybe. Let's see. First our plan is knight takes and bishop a3. Or we just play the rook here on the file, and after trading all down, we had a more active center control. And if we let him allow the trade, and you think yes, he could take in between with the bishop here, that's okay, because after we lost this pawn, we can grab the b7 pawn with the queen from f3 on after bishop takes. So this is fine. We just have to make sure to create a serious plan here. Should we allow the trade? Or bishop a3? I think bishop a3 is best here, because still he can't take. He can't take on d5, on d4, and we have some other move in between. Should be fine. Also our bishops to have a kind of more good active diagonal. What bishops also should have, if they are not placed in the center, where they are placed best, occasionally. So let's wait what Lance does. If the queen retreats, we just can take the pawn. And if he plays b6, what seems the only logical move here, then the question is how to proceed our plan. Maybe then rook to c1 makes sense, because still, if the queen stays here, he can take on d5, on d4. So I really wonder if this pawn is grabbed now. Now rook here, and then we are able to take on c5 with a smooth opportunity here Let's try this one. Still he can't take. And also we have this nasty d5 move, pushing the knight, closing the center a bit, but now we have to be careful a6 b5 because our bishop blockades a4, so d5 has to be good calculated. I also want to have our knight out of danger. Maybe this opportunity to take here is always a bit a timeline problem, and so maybe we play knight here with tempo, forcing the bishop to move. Could be fine. The thing is, I really like that position, I have to say, because if he strengths up the open file, we can just take, and the queen maybe has to take for a double trade here, maybe to take the pawn relatively safely. I don't mind. If the queens are traded, he just can take here the knight. The pawn structure is a little bit fragile there, but this shouldn't be the big problem. I just want to wait how he proceeds. If the knight goes here to blockade, I have to say I'm really up for taking though. Okay, he wants a draw. Lance wants a draw. Huh. Why does he want a draw in this position? Yeah, okay. I think I don't want to make the video too long today, because I have to do something in 10 minutes. Unfortunately, I calculated it a little bit wrong. But also, he's a friend of mine, and I know he's in stress with so many boards here. And I'm also glad and very confident with my opening play, where I'm sure I have advantage here. At least maybe 0.8, 0.9. So I think we had some instructive gameplay here, and I think this is a lesson enough. We maybe call it a day for a thread of how to play an opening. So yeah, let's quit this and accept the draw, and starting the analysis. GG Lance. But you have to explain me why you want to have a draw here. Write it down in the comments below my video. Okay, thanks man. Thanks. Let's start the analysis. What? Yeah, you see plus 09. So I think we did a good job there. And I think what was the point where he did this inaccuracy? Yes, you see, the reason why Lance struggled with the move knight to b4 is because if I take here and the pawn takes in an endgame where only the pawns and the king is on the board, I have actually advantage with a passed pawn option, because these three pawns can't make their way through to promotion by themselves, because if you push, you just have to stay unmoved with your pawns, and after he takes once here, we take here, and he has a double pawn here automatically, and then it would be winning in a great perspective for white. This is the thing, but also the engine says minus -01 would be the case if I have traded it. The reason why the engine does calculate this way is only because it's early in the game. He has the bishop pair. The push of the pawns makes much more effective sense when he does it early, because before it comes to an only pawn endgame, and then my only pawn who defends the double pawns at the end could be weak, especially because of this diagonals of the bishop. I think that's the case why the engine says this is fine for black. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. I think the next video will be in August. Greetings to all my friends, especially AJ. And yeah, see you guys. Bye.